Hi, today I'm going to take you through focus issues that you might experience when using the Gamepad Navigator to operate particular websites. If you're not familiar with the Gamepad Navigator, you should check out one of our intro videos, especially the video on navigating within a page, which will show you some of the concepts that I'm going to be just using here. So you can see on screen I have my Gamepad simulator that shows you what I'm pressing. In most cases, I'm going to be using the click button, the arrows, like the D-pad, and the bumpers to navigate around. So I have got a page open right now that works pretty well with the Gamepad Navigator because it's designed to. This is the preferences panel. And as I hit the bumpers, which you can see I'm doing, focus moves and the page also scrolls. So whatever I'm able to click on is focused. This is something that happens really often with keyboard navigation. In this case, we kind of act like a keyboard. The problem is that pages that are designed for keyboard navigation might not be able to tell that we're operating the page and might not display this outline. So I'll give you a quick example. If I do a search and I search for, let's just do a quick search for using the D-pad to move through the keyboard. And almost done. Right, so now we have our search results. Give it a second to load. As with the settings page, we can still use the bumpers to navigate through the page. Okay, so some of the links are highlighted. So these are the helpful links at the beginning of the page, for example, to turn scrolling on, to jump to the content. And then I start to get to, you can see that the cursor indicator is there for next to Xbox controller. That's where my focus is, but I don't see any styles to let me know what's going on. I see a tooltip here, but I don't see any focus styles to let me know that I'm focused on it. If I keep going, you can see that I get kind of hints about what I'm focused on, but I don't really start to get outlines clearly to show me what I'm focused on until there, and then I just lose it. I don't know where I am anymore. So I'll show you what the optional feature that we've added in the new version of the Gamepad Navigator to help with this. We have an additional focus indicator, optional focus indicator, that you can turn off and on. Now, oh, that's where I was. Now I have a clear outline for where I am. This page is organized in kind of a funny way. We get the outline for the whole thing, and then we get each part. But at least we know where we are. Previously, we didn't know where we were, and we just really had no way of telling where we were other than looking. If you look at the bottom left, you can see that the URL that we would click on is indicated. But if it's something like a toggle that doesn't have a URL, we would have no idea what we're doing. Or a menu. You see we don't have any indicator in the bottom left corner of what we would do. But now we can see that we're focused on all of the menus and buttons. So the styles used here, this dash line, is meant to mix with any existing styles, whether they're a dark theme, a light theme, a colored theme, an image theme. It should be able to mix in and still be clearly visible. And you can turn it off and on demand. So that's the help that we provide with these focus issues where you can't see where you are. But there is also a setting that Chrome provides. And this might be in a different place if you're using Edge or Brave, but it's very similar. So the easiest way to show you, consistent way, I'm going to have to use the mouse. We can't actually control preferences panels using the Gamepad Navigator, unfortunately. So I'm using a mouse to click the kind of sideways ellipsis menu and going to Settings. And then under the menu, I want to go to Accessibility. And you can see show a quick highlight on the focused object. I'm going to turn that on, and then I'm going to go back to that tab. So now you can see that the outline styles, the focus styles, have changed. They are clear. They do resize to the content. They don't really change the edges, but it is very clear what you're focused on. And it will kind of do some funny things with scrolling, but it does this with Chrome on Google's page itself, so this is more a feature of Chrome and less a feature of the Gamepad Navigator. So the disadvantage of this is that it's always on. It's on for every page, whether you need it or not. It does kind of fade after a second, but if you don't like having it on every page, you can't turn it off and on with the Gamepad Navigator, where you can enable and disable the temporary kind of optional focus help with the Gamepad Navigator. So those are two ways to make it clear what you're focused on if you're having issues controlling a page because you can't tell what you're focused on. So I hope that most of you won't have these kind of issues, but if you do, I hope you found the video helpful.